As usual, we're going to discuss the same topics. We're going to look at the pulling down the average price, looking at the same coin that we were following since the beginning. We're going to look at closing trades cycles below the initial price, which we have already seen before, taking profit retracement and account performance. Now, regarding take profit retracement and closing trades below the initial price, we don't have real examples for this week, especially for taking profit retracement thing, because taking profit retracements, when there is a jump in the market, the bot is going to be waiting until it reaches to the top and then sells. The last week, if you're following the market, there was no much of movement. It was more of a flat market. Yes, there is movement, but it's not as much as we could capture some of those really high trades that closed instead of 1%, it closed at 5 or 6 or 7%. So let's get into it. Pulling down the average price. This is the same AAVE coin that we were following since the beginning. This is last week's result on 22nd of August, the last Monday. If you see the analysis down here, the initial price is the same as 251 when it started back on, I think, 3rd of April. And the average price was 163.98. Now, for the people who doesn't know what average price means, just look at the previous calls. This is just a follow-up of the next call. But just give you a little bit of a brief. The average price is the top trades that was opened at that price, at the price of 251. For example, now let's look at this trade here. When it opened, sorry, let me get back. When it opened, when we started trading in this coin, the price of this coin was 251. Now, the first 3 trades, as per the strategy, they are taken as one, and the average price of that is taken. And then from that point onward, all the trades are independent trades. They're not taken as average price. Everyone is standalone trade. It buys and sells as the market goes down. And it used 50% of the profit made in each of those individual trades to bring down the average price. So this average price, initial price was 251. Last week, it was brought down for the whole duration, not only last week, the cumulative pulling down of that average price since 3rd of April, it was 163. So it was pulled down from 251. Now that same trade, which was open at 251, is now at the price of 163. And it will keep on pulling down until it closes 100%. Coming back. So that average price last week was at 163.98. So the average price was pulled with 87.02 USDT or dollars. And in percentage, that is 34%, 34.67%. The total profit which was made during the down market before closing the whole cycle is 1,050. This week, the profit have increased to 1,097.3. And accordingly, the average price was pulled down to 162, from 163 to 162.3. That means our new average price was pulled down by 88.7 USDT, which is 35.34%. It's pulled down. So as the time goes, either the market, as coach stated, the market comes back up and meet the average price somewhere and close the whole trade with profit, or that average price will keep on pulling down. Now the pull between last week and this week is just as low as less than 1%. Which is okay, because the market was not fluctuating much last week, and that's normal. We're dealing with the market, we're serving the wave, but we're not creating the wave. So whatever the market situation, the bot is going to be dealing with that and making profit, and the profit depends on the market movement. And accordingly, 50% of that profit is a little bit lower last week, and it was pulled down a little bit, which is okay. Now, about the take profit retracement, this is from the last week. We couldn't capture some of them from the last week because there was no, from this week, because there was no much of movement in the market. So I'm not going to go through them, but just to give you some idea for the new people, if we have new people on the call. So EazyBot has been designed to, if the market is moving high, if it's moving fast higher, it's not going to be closing the trade. It's going to be waiting for the trade, for the market to reach to the top and then start moving down and then start closing the trade. If you look at this example here, this is Uni USDT from last week. So what happened is that this is our average price was somewhere here. Actually, it's one trade, only one trade. This trade was opened at this point here. Then the market started moving down, started like being straight somehow. There was no much of movement. It's not up by 1.5% where it can start taking profit, and it's not down by 2% where it could take another trade. So it was just moving straight until it reached to this point here where the market suddenly started moving up. So the bot is programmed to start closing the trade or selling a trade at just 1.5% higher, but with the condition that the market starts showing some down movement, then close it. Because if the market is going up, don't close it, wait for the market to reach the highest point and then close it down. And that's what happened here.
This is really, really powerful how Mohammed created this, because most bots are brainless. It reaches a preset setting of 1.5%. It closes it at that point. And if the market's going up really fast, it's going to come back in, but it's going to miss all that profit. And how it's almost like a trailing sell order, where instead of selling at a predetermined amount brainlessly, it sees that the market's moving very quickly and it waits for the market to come back down before it'll close it. I'm sorry, Mohammed. No so problem. Genius. This is so genius.
So yeah,
I'm breaking it down. I'm breaking it down for people like me.
No, but that's okay. You can just jump in at anytime you want. So if you look here, the market was just going up, up, up. It was supposed to close somewhere here at just 1.5%, but it waited because the market was moving up. So it was waiting for it to reach the highest point. And for it, this was the highest point. Then when the market started moving down, it closed here. So it has a take profit retracement of 0.5%. When it starts moving down from the last highest price to that much, then starts closing the trade. And then probably here, this time here, a new trade opened and then it went up and then closed somewhere here. So this is exactly how we designed it to work. And this is a real example. If you look at the top here, you'll see exactly the exact time and the exact price where it took the trade and where it closed the trade. Just for your reference, if you're just verifying this is Dubai time. So you have to go to GST or Dubai time and then look at the chart. You will see exactly the same thing here. Now let's get to the interesting part, which is the performance of this account that we have been following also for quite some time. These are the coins that we're trading in this account, and these are the profits. If you see, for example, the file USDT started on 19th of May, so far made 13.7%. The capital was 1,000. Here's the profit 137, which represent 13.7%. Now don't look at this percentage here on the top. This is the movement of the coin during the past 24 hours. It has nothing to do with the profitability of that specific trade. You see here, Matic made the maximum profit 28.3. Let's get to the table just to see the details. Now here, I've considered 17 of the coins because the last two coins here started at different timing, if you see, or different dates. Those two started on 30th of May. So I'm considering only the ones that started on 19th of May so that we can compare apple to apple. Now, this is the summary of the results. This is last week of 22nd of August. As we stated last week, there is not much of movement in the market. However, still it made some profit. The profit is low, but at least it's a profit. It's not just stayed quiet. Let's look at the last week profit. This is the difference between 29th and 22nd. That gives us the result that happened in the last week. If you see, everything is just below 1%, except for one coin. This is the highest performer for last week. It was ETC. It made 1.27% in profit, which is 12.67 USDT. However, there are two coins here that have made nil. They made zero profit, no profits at all. And that's very usual. That's very normal. There was no much of movement in that coins for the bot to react or to buy or sell. Actually, there was opportunity to buy, but there was no opportunity to sell. And we'll see that in details here. We're going to analyze this TRX coin. Because if you guys
that was because the market was just flat. It's been flat the last couple of weeks. It's dropped down, but that doesn't matter with this bot. So keep going, brother.
Yeah, looking at this TRX, if you notice, guys, the people who have attended the last call, the same coin was also zero profit from the week before. So for 2 weeks, this coin was not giving any profit. Let's analyze it in more details here. Now, this is the last week. Okay, this is the last week result of that coin. When we have seen it, the market started here. This is the initial buy, and then this is cover one when it went down here, and then when it went down here, it took this cover, and the market was here. It wasn't in a position to go above the average price by 1.5% to take profit and close, and it wasn't down below that by 8% to take the next cover, because our next call as per the strategy is 8% below the cover 2 to take cover 3. So it was fluctuating there, so it was quiet. There was no movement. But now with the new enhancement of the strategy that we're working on, which is going to be probably released this week, we're going to be solving that quiet zone. We have a quiet zone here between cover 1 and cover 2, which is about 5%. And we have another 8% between cover 2 and cover 3. We're going to add some independent covers in between as per this chart here. Those are going to be the independent covers between these average covers, and it's going to be taking buying and selling in between. So as an example, this coin, if we had the enhancement applied to this coin in the last week, so instead of having 0, it could have taken this buy here and then sell here, this point, and then another buy here, another sell here, another buy here, and then another buy here and sell here, and then buy here and sell here, and then buy here and sell. So all of these trades,
wow.
we were just missing on because of the, we're not losing anything because the bot did not buy or sell anything in loss, but this is an enhancement that we're going to add to the strategy to have even more trades than what we're seeing at the moment, which obviously is going to be adding to the profitability of the coin. So instead of having the last week, we will have all of these trades buying and selling and making profit for the users.
And you know, we've been sharing with everybody that this enhancement is coming. I know that they're still working on a few little things in the dev team, dev department. How soon do you think this will be ready, or do you have an estimate?
I'm quite confident that this week is going to be the week we're going to be releasing it. Awesome. Towards the end of the week, I'm just having a couple of tests to do. We just want to make sure that everything is working perfectly without any glitches.
Awesome.
Okay, so
now, guys, one thing I do want to say though is there's no guarantees here. There's no 2 tokens that people trade that do exactly the same, and the reason why is because everybody comes into the market at a different time, and so it works similar, but it's not going to be exact. And for every token, everybody's going to have some different results, but for the most part, this is how it works, guys, and you'll see great results. But there are no guarantees. This is a volatile market. We're not financial advisors. We're a software company, guys. And we've set up a piece of software that you just connect, as most of you know, to your exchanges through a unique API, a unique IP address, and a secure API connection. It's trade only. So, but we're not financial advisors. You always want to seek the advice of a financial advisor, especially if you're in the US and Canada. That really applies to you guys mostly. Go ahead, Mohammed.
Yeah, now this chart that we're seeing here is a repetition of what we have done last week. It's not the new week. Now let's look at the new chart here that we have. Okay, now this is this week. This is between 22nd and 29th. So if you look here, there were no trades, only one buy here. That means the market went down from the last order by the 8%, more or less, and then started pulling back by the 0.5%. Then it took order here only on 29th. So if you see, since 14th of this month until 29th or until today, there was no sell, there was no profit. Profit is 0. Let's get to the chart here and see exactly how it looks like. So last week, what the chart that we just saw now was just somewhere here around this. And now the market, this was the behavior from last week until now or until today. Market was flat for some time and then went down a little bit. And then here it took the cover 3, which we saw now on 29th, and then the market started pulling up again. So now this is why it did not make any profit, because the market movement is not in a position for the bot to sell and make profit. So it just waits for the right moments and then sell, because it's designed not to sell and make any kind of losses. It was designed only to sell when there is an opportunity for making profit. And it's now waiting. So here, eventually what's going to happen is either the market's going to go above this average price. This is the average price here, the blue line here, or the purple line here is the average price for all of these 4 trades combined. So now the market doesn't have to go up to the initial price here, plus 1.5% to make profit. It just has to cross this average price by 1.5% and then start the process of making profit. Now, with a new enhancement, or even actually if the market goes down, it's going to start buying into the individual trades or the independent trades and make profit and pull that average price down even further. So if we had the independent covers in between here, the enhancement strategy in between, we would have some lines here, a couple of trades we have seen, like around, I think 7 or 8 trades happen in this area. And accordingly, also in this area here, this up and down could have made a couple of profits, couple of trades, but like buy here and then sell here, then buy here, then sell here, buy here and sell here, and another buy here, another sell here, and probably another buy here and sell here, and then down here, another buy. Then here it bought the average cover and took everything together. So the new enhancement is going to really be making a lot of sense to people, and we will not have these quiet zones anymore.